This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, here we go. Finally, this is Sharath back again. I I warmly welcome everyone to this session. So probably, I guess, in this starting year in 2022, probably this might be
Evening to
for few
everyone.
people. This might let's say this session should be probably a first webinar, a first workshop, something like that, right? Awesome. So I would like to wish you, first of all, an happy new year for everyone. I would like to wish only success for you guys throughout the entire year. Saying that, let's get started for this amazing session. So AWS Machine Learning Specialty Certification course. So you might be wondering, so you might be also like having your own resolution saying that, okay, so maybe you might be also having some resolutions, like a new resolutions that you might be planning to get started. Maybe for few people, maybe getting started with machine learning, maybe your resolution, maybe shifting your careers into machine learning probably might be your resolution. Okay, so I also wish all the best for your resolutions. Let us get started. Okay, so let me give a quick introduction about me and what exactly the company called Psitron Technologies we do. Then we will get started with this demo session. Okay, then we will discuss about so why AWS machine learning specialty, why it is making a lot of sound in a job market. Okay, so I just want to verify quickly. So I can see a lot of messages coming out in the chat. So happy new year for everyone. So I just want to quickly verify. So if my screen is visible and if my audio is clear enough for you, you can just tell me yes in the chat window. So then let me get started after that. Yeah, please, you can just tell me yes in case if my audio is clear and if my screen is visible for you. Okay. Awesome. Thank you,
Yes,
Muhammad.
sir.
Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks so much for confirming. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. So yes, my name is Sharad Kumar again. So I am from a company called Psitron Technologies. So what we do in a first hand, so Psitron Technologies. So don't imagine that we are a training-based company. We are providing some training for you today. No, we are a product-based company. That's what exactly makes us more unique to teach machine learning for you guys. So what is Psitron Technologies exactly does? So Psitron Technologies, we are based out of Bangalore, India. So we are much into, let's say, AI, machine learning, artificial intelligence. We use AWS a lot. We have a domain expertise in AWS, machine learning, IoT, all those stuff. So what we do, we work very closely related to industries, let's say manufacturing industries, automobile industries. We provide IoT solutions, ML, AI solutions for them. So this is what exactly the product wise that we do. And yes, we also do this courses, workshops, certifications, all those stuff. Personally, I've done more than 30 plus webinars, 40 plus workshops and courses, and trained personally 5,000 plus peoples actually. So all the wide varieties of peoples you can imagine. So the peoples from, let's say, IT sector who want to shift their career, let's say, to machine learning, artificial intelligence, cloud. I have trained wide varieties of peoples, obviously. So saying this, let us get started. Let us put up an agenda. What exactly we are going to do, what we're going to learn in this today's demo session. So this demo session is organized for, let's say, 90 minutes. So and here is the hidden secret. Okay, so I would like to suggest you to stay till end of the session. Then only you can download some new year gifts. I mean, we are giving away some free ebooks. I mean, this ebooks are 3 must have ebooks. Anyone who are getting started with, let's say, machine learning and artificial intelligence, so you need to have that ebooks. You can download those ebooks only if you stay till the end of this webinar. I will share the links in the chat window. Okay, but more to come. We're going to see a lot of live demos on AWS, on AI. I'm going to show you a lot of demos. It's going to be quite fun, enjoying. So let's get started. So what is the agenda for today? So what exactly that we're going to take a look? So I think the 3 things what I want to focus today, that is the impact of AI and ML. What's really happening in AI and ML in the world? So what is waiting for you guys in upcoming year, that is in 2022? So what is going to happen in next 5 years? So there's a lot of things are happening, guys. But stay connected. Let me just push you all the data for you guys today. Okay. So then we're going to talk about so why this AWS machine learning specialty certification course, why it is making a lot of sound in a job market. So then we're going to check it out also like a job opportunities, how the job opportunities look forward, let's say from upcoming year. So how it's going to look. Okay, so let's get started. So let's start from discussing about impact of AI and ML. Okay, So before just getting started, I would like to know, like, so I would like to ask, like, okay, anyone from, let's say, like, if you're a beginner on machine learning, data science, AWS machine learning, whatever it is, just tell me yes in case if you're a beginner. Otherwise, so you already have some knowledge on ML and AI. Let's say you have done some hands-on, something like that. You can just say, okay, I'm already experienced, something like that. So just tell me if you're a beginner, or ML and AI, if you're already done some answer, you can just say I have some hands-on, or maybe like a expert, whatever it is. So just trying to understand how can I deliver this entire session. Okay, so a lot of people are telling I'm a beginner. That's cool. So so it's going to be more productive for beginners and also for the experienced persons here. So I'm aware about ML. Anik, Ankit, okay, good, Ankit. So yeah, I'm already working on AI and ML, Usman. So it's going to be interesting for also the, especially for the peoples, let's say, who are already experienced and beginners. So most welcome. So let's get started. Okay. Okay, so impact of AI and ML, let's have a discussion on that. So before we getting started with discussing on impact of AI and ML, so let's start discussing about use cases around ML and AI, right? So what are the use cases are there in ML and AI? Let's say, so right now we are hitting almost like more than 100 people today in the session. So you might be coming from a various different backgrounds, if I'm not wrong. Let's say you might be coming from so educational background, you might be coming from an IT sector where you are already serving a machine learning, you're already working on a project on machine learning, maybe you're serving your clients. So I mean, various peoples might be serving different industries. So let's say you might be serving a client in a banking sector, you might be serving a client in the medical sector, maybe aerospace, whatever it is, blah blah blah, like agriculture, space, whatever it is, right? So use cases of machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, all the buzzwords what the people used to say. So the reality is, wherever you have an access to digital data, you have an use cases of machine learning over there. That's the beauty of AI and ML. So starting from, let's say, agriculture industry to space industry, the use cases of ML and AI existed everywhere. Obviously, there's no doubt about it, right? So but here I just tried to display some few use cases, so that usually which is revolving around us always. Okay, so yeah, so I guess few peoples are just telling, okay, like no audio. Just checking if my audio is clear, please just input me. I'm just asking a lot of questions for you, right? So just making sure everyone gets the valid quality audio. So if I'm audible, just tell me yes. So maybe like a quick verification. Thanks, thank you. Yeah, again, thank you so much for your concern. Like, yeah, thank you for confirming. So please check in case if you're not hearing your audio. So audio is loud and clear. Thank you, Srinivas, for confirming. Okay, so let's come back, okay, here. Okay, so use cases of ML and AI. So if you put it in a technical way, like there are a lot of use cases, like use cases related to NLP, which is called natural language processing. For example, sentiment analysis, text classification, chatbots, you might be heard about it, right? So for example, sentiment analysis, let's take a very famous e-commerce website in the world, right? So obviously I'm talking about Amazon. So Amazon.in or Amazon.com, who are the who are wherever you're buying it, right? So you know that, like, usually we have a habit whenever we buy the products, yes, we give a quite good review in case if you're really loving the product, right? So otherwise, let's say if that product is not doing quite good, if you are not satisfied with that, what do? Obviously you give a negative review for that person, saying that, okay, this product is not doing good, blah 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 blah. So you give some negative review. So okay, let's stop there. But what do you think Amazon is really doing with that data? So you're not the only customer, they might be having a millions of customers. So you know, like, what is Amazon is trying to do? They are collecting all these reviews, what we are as a customer we are producing on their websites. So they are doing a sentiment analysis, they are using machine learning to do a sentiment analysis, and with that data they can analyze whether the particular vendor who is selling a product to a customer, whether he's a valid person or not, whether he's doing a good job or not. So this makes this process provides a more a quality, I mean, it provides more benefit for our customers to get a better satisfaction when you're buying from an Amazon. That's how it works, right? So otherwise, let's talk about the crazy trending technologies. What we're talking about, self-driving cars, right? Or maybe the robotics use cases. Everyone loves self-driving cars, and a very famous self-driving car in the world, obviously, which I liked, Tesla. But there are a lot of things that are coming out. Obviously, you know that. So self-driving cars is the one cutting-edge technology devices where automobile devices where they use machine learning, artificial intelligence in a higher level, right? So you know that a crazy WhatsApp, Facebook videos. You might have seen this. So where peoples are going, let's peoples are going to their daily jobs. I mean, in early in the morning, they're just sleeping in a driver's seat. You know what is happening. I mean, just Tesla is driving them to the office. No one is driving. Just they're sleeping. They're hanging out, just having fun. Right? That's what is happening. So this is where we are actually going. There's a lot to come in a future. Right? So the use cases are wide variety. So I can keep on mentioning it. Maybe the use cases related to the retail industries, like tracking the customer behavior. Let's say you go for a retail market, there is a continuous cameras. Let's say you are trying to wear a different cloths, the cloth collections that arrived for a new year. Let's say you're wearing that and camera is monitoring you. Their camera is just trying to analyze whether you're trying to, like, whether you're feeling happy when you're wearing that cloth, otherwise are you feeling unhappy. So like what we can do with AI and ML, right? So it may be the use cases related to agriculture. So it may be analyzing a pest diseases in the leaves, blah blah blah, right? Or maybe the use cases in a automobile sector, for example, analyzing the traffic, for example, using techniques like recognition and classification. So what do you mean by that? That we use Google Maps always, right? So that Google Maps are the best example for providing traffic analysis. That whenever you are traveling in a car, maybe a two-wheeler, the hateful thing that you see in a Google Maps is a red line, right? Whenever you have a thick red line, that means that you have a huge traffic. So Google is doing a lot of things with that, right? So that means use cases of ML and AI is everywhere. The global machine learning market is expanding like nothing else. So I don't want to even compare with any other technologies. So comparing with, let's say, I don't want to compare, but machine learning is just growing drastically like anything else, because so every digital platforms can be integrated with ML and AI. That's the beauty of it. So yeah, that's the thing. So let us get started. Let's say, like, I have a lot of beginners today, right? So let's try to understand what is machine learning in a very layman terms. Let's try to understand. Okay, so not much technical words. Let's try to understand. So okay, you can see this beautiful picture that I have displayed today here. I just want you to observe for, let's say, 5 or 6 seconds, and let me ask some few questions. Here we go. Let's observe this picture. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what have you observed from this picture? So let me ask some few questions. So what do you think this picture is about? What do you think this picture is about? What exactly that you can observe from this picture? Okay, let me ask some few questions. So let me answer a few questions and answers from here. Let's say I can see this is a picture of a park, right? This is scenery of a park, and I can see a lot of peoples in there. So I can see different age groups of peoples. I can see a men, and I can see a women, and I can see different breeds of dogs even, right? I have one dog over here, one dog over here, and I have a dog which is carrying a ball in it, right? Yeah. So, and I can see a path where I can walk, and I can sit in a bench, right? A lot of things are there. Okay, cool. But let me ask, yeah, good, it's a early morning. Yes, obviously, Srinivas, it's correct. Okay, let me ask a quick question. How do you know this is a picture of a park? Okay, how do you know this is a picture of this is a man, and how do you know this is a dog, and how do you know this is a woman? So what is really happening here? How do you know these things in a first hand? Sharat, are you gone mad? You can ask me a question. So I know this is a dog. I know this is a man, right? So let's try to look back. Okay, let's try to look back, and let's try to understand the way that we have learned the data, right? So let's go with this beautiful picture, which I like to display for many people's when you are understanding what is ML and AI. Let's take a newborn baby, just less than 1 year old, right? A newborn baby barely can recognize his mother and father, obviously. Other than that, the baby doesn't know anything else. It baby doesn't know what is math. The baby doesn't know what is physics, what is car, what is bicycle, nothing, right? So let's say the baby grows, and the baby grows to, let's say, a babysitting school, or let's say a primary school, whatever it is. Then the person started learning alphabets. He started learning how to walk. He started recognizing people's mother, father, relatives, lot of things, right? So then he might go to for the standards, then he will learn math, physics, then he will go for higher studies, then he will go for a college, right, degree, then finally, like, you might become a senior person, right? So then we will finally expire. That's a different game. But what happens in each and every day, like the amount of the data that we consume is more. Like we learn from our teachers, we learn from our books, we learn from a job, we learn from our customers, we do a lot of stuff, right? If we're trying to put up this entire human growth cycle as an exponential graph, the learning curve exponentially grows up, right? That's how exactly things work. The more the data that you consume, the more that you become better in a life. So this is what exactly happening in a machine learning. So whatever we have learned till now, so like let's say like we are trying to teach those data to these dumb machines, obviously. So let's say it may be any higher end server. It may be a server on a cloud. It may be your own edge devices like Raspberry Pi. It may be your own personal computer, right? So what we are trying to do is machine learning. Like basically, we have a data. We want to teach the data to this machine. Then we are asking that machine to make some futuristic predictions. So let's say, let's pick up some use cases. Then we will try to understand. Let's say I have a CSV file. Okay, let's say I have a CSV file. So what do I have in the CSV file? So in this CSV file, I have, so my, let's say my office or maybe my home electricity consumption data. I mean, let's say I collect all the electricity data from my home, like electricity data consumption, like how much energy my washing machine consumes, what a geyser consumes, maybe air conditioning unit that I might have, how much energy that it consumes. Let's say I have collected this data for 3 years. Okay, so then let's say I have some 30,000 data points. I mean, 30,000 data is in it. So what I want is nothing but, let's say I want to make some predictions. Let's say I want to predict, okay, for the next 6 months, what will be my electricity forecast? What do I get on 6th month? What do I get on 7th month, 8th month, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is what exactly that I want. So what do I do? I can use machine learning as a technology to teach my data to a model. Then I can create a model. Then a machine learning model can able to make a predictions for me. So let's say I pick any kind of a devices that I have. Let's say I pick Raspberry Pi or maybe your own PC server. Like I teach this data. So once your machine has learned all the data, like we use all the crazy mathematics to teach the data to the machine. So then we ask this machine to make a forecast saying that what will be my electricity bill forecast for next 6 months. So this is what exactly we might do in a machine learning. That's it. That's all about machine learning. There's nothing complex here. So yeah, this is what exactly machine learning is in a layman terms. But if you're looking for a more technical words, this is what machine learning is derived. So machine learning is a study of an algorithm and a mathematical model that computer system uses to progressively improve the performance on a specific task. So otherwise I can put it in this way: machine learning is all about teaching a complex mathematical models to your computer. Once your machine has understood all the complex mathematical models, then we can able to ask a make a prediction. Maybe we want to make a forecast of electricity bill. Otherwise, let's say you want to make some face recognition so face recognition use cases, let's say identifying the person in front of a camera, whether identifying the difference between apple and orange. So for example, let's take a good example. So let's talk about our smartphones. Our smartphones are the great examples for it. So like we are in a age of AI already. So you cannot neglect this. We are in the age of AI. So we are using AI every day. You are being part of AI every day. For example, smartphone is the best example. So everyone might have a latest smartphone. You might be having a face unlocking system in your smartphone. I mean, if you bring your front facing camera towards your face, it unlocks, right? So that's a face recognition application, a tiny machine learning model running on your phone. That's what exactly it does. And you might be also aware about the deep learning technologies, what people used to call, which is called Google Home, otherwise okay Google, what we used to call, like say, okay Google, can you call my dad? Okay Google, can you sing this birthday song? Otherwise, you might be aware about something called Amazon Alexa, right, where Amazon keeps on advertising. You can ask Alexa to let's say order something from an Amazon, right? Obviously, yes, Siri, right? Who eliminates Siri? Obviously, Apple Siri again. So one of the funniest voice assistants, what I know. So yes, so a lot of things are happening. Those are the great examples again, right? So now let us talk about how do we learn this, like what is the process. Let's say there are a lot of machine learning engineers already. I mean, there are a lot of people who are into data science. A lot of people are beginners. So let me put it this entire machine learning process end to end in a one single typical workflow. So a lot of even machine learning engineers may not have this final thing like how to deploy a model in a production, how to maintain the pipelines, all those stuff. Let me try to put it in a good way. Let's say this is how the typical workflow looks. So where do we start? Obviously, we start from a data, right? You need to have some use cases. You want to solve some problems, right? I want to solve electricity bill forecasting problem. Maybe you want to solve something like analyzing a cancer, maybe analyzing a breast cancer, maybe some other different kinds of diseases. You might be having some use cases like, let's say, I want to do some online transaction predictions like ATM card, online transaction failure predictions, whatever it is. Okay, so for every purpose, you need to have some data, right? So the data can come from many different forms. Data can be in the form of picture, obviously, if you're doing anything related to computer vision, or maybe it can be a CSV file, even a JSON file, or maybe a text file, right? So what we do initially, we start gathering a data. So once we have a data, then we do something called preparing your data. So preparing your data is nothing but we put some masala, we put some ingredients, we start cooking. Not exactly that, but yeah, so it's something similar to that. So the real time data that you get from let's say industry, maybe a business, comes with a lot of noise in it. What do you mean by noise? So noise can be, let's say, I have so I might be collecting electricity data, so I might be have a lot of missing data in it. So my data might not be 100% completed all the times. I might be having losing some data somewhere else, right? So I need to handle that problems. There are different things like that. So then what we do, then we use some kind of an IDEs like Jupyter Notebooks, very famous for obviously for data science and big data. Or maybe even you can use VS Code, right? So to write the code. So once our code is ready, we start training your model. I mean, so we say we have cleaned the data. Once the data is clean enough, we feed the data to the machine to get it trained. So a training. So now we teach a train. I'm a teacher. Okay, I'm a teacher, and my device is a student. I'm teaching a data. That's it. So once my machine has learned all the data, it creates something called machine learning model and output result. So what we do, we take that data and finally we deploy it in a real-time production environment, like similar to hosting. What I mean by deployment is nothing but hosting. What do you mean by hosting? So we know how to host a website, right? So we can buy some server space, we can buy some domain, we can host our website. Similar to that. So you can host your machine learning models, obviously, let's say on cloud platforms like AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, blah blah blah. So let's say AWS provides a service called AWS SageMaker, very powerful device which I love most. So you can use this service called AWS SageMaker to deploy your machine learning models in a production ready environment. So let's say I take my machine learning model and I deploy it on a cloud instance. So once you have deployed it on a cloud instance, let's say you can create, so AWS itself, it exposes APIs. So by using APIs, you can build a beautiful dashboard, Android application, web application, where your users can interact. That's it. That's it, as simple as that, right? So obviously there is a lot of hidden things, right? So there's a lot of things to discuss still, but this is how the entire thing works. Okay, let's say if you want to get started with machine learning, and do I need to learn programming, and what is the best language to get things started with? So obviously, like in today's world, the things are becoming more feasible. So let's say right now today, like you can also train a machine learning model without zero programming knowledge. That's possible. So if you know, there is a one latest update. AWS has released a new service called AWS Canvas. Without writing any program, you can train a machine learning model, obviously. So but yes, but let's say tomorrow you want to become a specialist, expert, like where you want to have a fancy salary, a fancy job. Obviously you want to learn a programming to become an expert. So you can get started with Python, obviously. Very easy to use, very regular to use, many workloads running on Python. And obviously then you can get started with R, Go, and even C++ is also possible. JavaScript is also possible to use to build a machine learning model. No exception to that. Yep. So then obviously there are a few more things that you need to learn if you want to become a specialist in a machine learning. Obviously, first thing is understanding the statistics and probability. Mm, what statistics and probability? So this is something like that we have learned in our school education itself, especially in higher schools. We might be You might be heard about the terms like standard deviation, variance, mean, mode, median, right? Every old school mathematics comes into machine learning. So statistics and probability is highly used to understand the data, especially. So yep. So then obviously data engineering. What do you mean by data engineering? Are we going to take some engineering graduation here? No. Data engineering is all about, like, okay, you have a data for your use case, so you do some engineering with that. So data engineering is all about, let's, a lot of things, like obviously cleaning a data, right? You might be having some lot of missing values in your data. You want to clean it, right? So you might be having some format issues, issues in your units. Maybe let's say you are collecting some data related to, let's say, kilograms, maybe something like a liters, like you might be having some units mismatches, right? So you might be dealing with that. So that's called data engineering, but there's a lot to learn. Okay, so then comes data visualization. What data visualization? Why data visualization is very important? Let's say, let's go back to this CSV file that I'm talking about. Let's say the CSV file has a electricity data of 3 years. Okay, so this 3 years data consists of, let's say, 30,000 data points. Okay, so before you're teaching this data to your machine, you need to ensure there is no garbage in it, there is no noise in it. So how do you ensure that? So obviously we need to do the data engineering and try to analyze if there is any noise, outliers, remove it, then you teach it. That's what the process is. Cool. But how do we analyze? Obviously you need to use data visualization tools. Like there are a lot of visualization tools that you can use in AWS. For probably, like, there's a lot of tools that you can use. There's a QuickSight, Amazon, Athena. There's a lot of things, and you can also use open source tools, which is available in Python, right? So, and understanding which kind of tools that you need to use, very important, like, because so that's what exactly matters. Let's say using plots like box plots and whisker plots can be highly productive if you want to identify if there is any outliers in it. Outliers, basically, it's called something, a data that you don't need, so that you want to remove it out. Okay, so understanding data visualization is highly important. Okay, and okay, we talked about statistics, deep, then data engineering and analysis, and obviously you might be heard about this term, deep learning, right? Yeah, it's deep learning. Yeah, deep learning. You might be also wondering what is this deep learning, and right. So once you're searching for deep learning, probably you might be came across some pictures like this, right, which looks like circles here. But is what is really happening? Okay, let me try to help you guys to understand that. So, yep. So like, human beings are the best copy makers, right? So I mean, what do you mean by copy makers? We replicate everything that we observe. Like, for example, human brain. So like, deep learning is completely a replica of how our biological system works. Especially, it is a biological inspiration from our human brain. So if you don't know, like, like, everyone knows, obviously, like, we have, like, in our human brain there is something called neurons. There are more than billion neurons, and which carries electrical signal from one part of a neuron to another part of a neuron. So basically, neurons are information carriers, for example, in our human brain. So this is what exactly is followed in deep learning. So in deep learning, we call it as weights, which each and every neuron carries some data, right, of your machine learning use case data sets. So this weights are being further learned in further network, and it creates a complex model. So exactly that. So, and let's also talk about something called cortical columns, which is very important. Let's say computer vision is very famous. Let's say I'm talking about a face unlocking system in your smartphone, right? Or maybe like any crazy technology that you might be talking about. So which just comes under analyzing images. Let's say if you want to make some analysis on, you want to make some eye disease predictions, you want to identify a pest. Let's say in pest in agriculture, right? Diseases on the leaves, like, we use computer vision obviously to analyze the pictures, right? So in order to analyze the pictures, so what technology is being used? Obviously it is also inspired from biology, that is called cortical columns. So cortical columns are again a neuron sets in our human eye. So we have two eyes. So two eyes has this cortical columns. So it has stacks of mini columns. I mean, each and every mini column will have, let's say, 100 neurons. So it's 100 neurons. It is stacked together to form some network like this. So this is how exactly humans has replicated as part of a computer vision. So where do we see this? So obviously GPUs, graphical processing units, you might be heard about GPUs, right? Your computer might have GPU, right? So GPUs are the good hardwares to do that. Basically this GPUs can able to do this parallel computing. Obviously cortical columns exactly does that. So yeah, that's how the things work in deep learning. um, so basically a deep neural network looks something like this. So let's say we have our input fed over here. Let's say I'm talking about the electricity bill forecast data. Maybe I'm feeding input over here, then finally we get output over here. And we have a lot of layers in between, which is called hidden layers, which process the informations in a different fashion. And then finally we have output layer, something called softmax, which produces an output, for example, as probabilities. So this is how the deep learning neural network looks actually. Okay, let's try to understand one more term here. Why not, right? So all these three buzzwords which I'm repeating for the previous 30 minutes, you might be noticed, right? Artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, blah blah blah, right? So what is this? All these three things are three different technologies. Are they same? So they are almost same, but there's a slight difference. Let's get started from artificial intelligence, AI, otherwise, right? Artificial intelligence, which is actually a final output of a machine learning, basically. For example, let's consider Amazon Alexa. Obviously Amazon Alexa is a AI device. That's what we used to call. So because it runs a machine learning models behind, which produces an output for you. So and let's talk about ML, which is machine learning, which is actually a subset of AI, which is inside AI. So for example, a spam detection use case, for example, on your email, right? So email Gmail does a great job, and especially people's like me suffers from this, because we send a lot of emails for you guys, like saying that we're doing this event, machine learning, blah blah blah. For some people it goes to spam, which we hate it, right? So yeah, spam detection is a one use case which runs on machine learning. So then we have deep learning, which is a subset of machine learning, obviously. So that's how the things work. So machine AI is the final end product that you get. Okay, let's say you have a client, you're building a product for them, so finally that can be called as a AI. Cool. And the types of machine learning, ML types. So the way the machine learns the data in a different fashion, that can be categorized to three ways: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. That's how the three things differ. Let me try to help you understand these three things in much more simpler way. So what is the supervised learning? Supervised learning technique. So let's consider we have a three different country coins here. So we have Indian rupee, we have UAE rupee, and we have Liberty coin here. So each and every coin weighs different weights. Indian coin weighs 5 grams, UAE weighs 2 grams and 4 grams. So here I have a coin and let's say the weight of a coin. So the weight of a coin can be a feature and the currency of a coin can be a label of it. Let's say we trained a machine learning model, then we make a predictions. If the coin is 5 grams, so let's say if the coin is 5 grams, that's a prediction, then the coin can be 1 rupee coin. So supervised learning technique is a technique where you have both features and labels in your data. You need to have both features and your labels. So let's say where we have one more technique called unsupervised learning technique. So unsupervised learning technique is a learning technique where you learn with no label data. So you don't have labels in your data, for example. So for example, let's take a cricket as a good example here. And here I have a beautiful graph where I have wickets in x-axis and runs in y-axis. So where I have clustered this data in two groups here, where I have, so let's say based on total number of wickets I can identify who is that bowler is, and based on total number of runs I can find who is that batsman is. Basically unsupervised learning techniques has a clusterings, for example. So that's how unsupervised learning technique works. And finally we have something called reinforcement learning, so very famous in a robotics use cases, obviously. So let's say I'm trying to create a machine learning model to predict all the different kinds of pet animals. It may be a dog, it may be a cat, it may be a cow, it may be a tiger, lion. Okay, sorry, tiger, lion is not a pet animals, but let's consider this dog, cat, blah blah blah. So let's say I'm trying to teach all the pet animals, then on a one day I'm trying to ask my machine to make a prediction what I have in this given picture. So when I ask my machine, it tells it's a dog. That's bad. So then I give a negative review for my machine saying that that's not a cat, it's a dog. So based on this negative feedback, it learns it. So let's say then Another day, I pass the same picture, then it predicts it's a picture of a cat. So then I give a reward for that machine. So machine the reinforcement learning technique is always uses like reward basis. Like whenever it happens, learn something good, I give a reward for it. Okay, that's how it works. So yeah, this is about reinforcement learning. Cool. So then let's consider, okay, we have supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So there are different varieties of use cases comes under every different ML types, obviously. That differs on industries, obviously. So it may be classification related use cases. Classification always about classifying between two different things, apple and orange, men, women, true, false, right? So there's something like that. So maybe use cases like fraud detection, email spam detection, image classification even. You can also work on regression related use cases. Otherwise, it's considered unsupervised learning, maybe a text mining use cases, face recognition even can be done. So again, clustering use cases can be done. So let's say reinforcement learning technique, so which has a high demand obviously in gaming, robotics, manufacturing sectors, a lot of things happening. Okay, 7 steps of machine learning, which is usually followed. So, which is must know things. Let's say, where do we start? We gather a data. First of all, we go to market, like say to internet, and we gather data. Otherwise, we go to a business. Like you might be working in a company, you might have a business use case, right? Then we start preparing a data, like we remove all the garbage and noise in it. Then we choose a then we choose a model that we want to use. Then we train the machine learning, then it produces a model, then we do evaluating it. So obviously we give examination. So if it is passing the exam, then we finally be happy to deploy it. Otherwise, what we do something called hyperparameter tuning, like we give extra tuitioning for it, saying that we tell them to learn over time, then learn it, then we tune it, then finally once the hyper tuning is done. So hyper tuning is always error corrections and getting a good output from it. And finally we deploy it, then we can make a predictions. Okay, that's the thing. So a lot of algorithms are there, maybe regression, classification, clustering. There's a lot of things that we can still discuss. So, and let's go back. Okay, yeah, this is where I'm waiting for. So why AWS machine learning specialty certification course makes a lot of sound in a job market? Okay, how it is making so much unique, let's say especially for the people who are looking for a job, who is looking looking into getting started with ML and AI. Otherwise, people is already in ML. After taking this particular certification, how you are going to be more unique in it, right? So here we go. First, let us understand what is the power of AWS here. So this is the data which we took from, let's say, last 2020. So this latest data still yet to be available. So Amazon actually leads the entire cloud industry, like let's say from 100 billion plus, obviously. So that means like Amazon holds majority cloud share, comparing with, let's say, Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba, IBM, blah blah blah. So that means the more the market size, the more the job opportunities, right? That's how the things work, directly professional to that. So this data is available from Statistica, you can check it out. So that means this slides give a more clarity. So why do you need to get started with Amazon? So yeah, that's the thing. And let's talk about machine learning. So you don't believe like this particular slide is not enough for me to put up a lot of companies. So you won't believe like more than 1.5 million companies uses AWS for machine learning. Just imagine 1.5 million companies uses AWS for machine learning. So try to imagine all the different kinds of use cases that they might be running. Intel, maybe let's say automobile sectors like Toyota, let's say Siemens, let's say companies like Samsung, like so lot of MNCs. I can keep on mentioning. Obviously, I couldn't see the companies over here clearly, but like 1.5 million companies uses Amazon. And the more important thing is they each and every year they upgrade their platform. They get the cutting edge technologies into their platform. So this year it's really awesome. They have released latest all the cutting edge technology. They have upgraded the platform even. Yeah. So this is how the ML stack looks, the complete AI and ML services inside AWS. But I didn't put it up a lot of things in it, the latest updates. But yeah, this is what the majority of the things what Amazon used to provide. So this can be divided into three things: AI services, ML services, ML frameworks, and infrastructures. So AI services, as I mentioned already, which is a ready product. Let's say, so for example, they have AI solutions in many different sectors which can able to support all the different kinds of industries. For example, vision, that is means computer vision. Let's say you are working on any use cases related to computer vision, especially face recognition, object and scene detections, something like that. So you can use Amazon recognition. I'm going to provide a live demo on it, just but make sure you wait till end of it, okay, to enjoy this demo. So then speech related use cases, let's say you are working on let's say you are working in a marketing domain, or maybe something like similar to a platform where you want to convert all the text to audio. You want to convert text to audio, you can use Amazon Poly. So then they have something called Amazon Transcribe. Let's say another, okay, this is speech, sorry, yeah, this is speech related services. If you're looking for a text related services where you want where you have something called Amazon Comprehend, Amazon Translate. Amazon Translate can able to do real time translation. So like if you want to transfer from English to French, English to Tamil, English to Hindi, blah blah blah. Yeah. Otherwise, let's say you have a lot of documents to be processed. Let's say you have a lot of PDF, all the 90s 80s documents has to be digitized. Okay, let's say you can use Amazon Textract. It's an AI platform which can convert all your documents, physical documents, let's say upload it to AWS as a PDF, image, whatever it is, and it can convert into a words, a document, proper document that you can copy it. So they have search related services, Amazon Kendra, Amazon chatbot service, which is called Amazon Lex, which I love most. You know that chatbots are ruling the world everywhere. Let's say you go to any digital service, it may be food ordering services that you might have, even a Facebook. Let's say you want to talk to Facebook Business Solutions, you want to talk to any digital service providers. The first thing comes into the chat platform is chatbot, not a human being, right? So chatbots are really ruling the world. Personalization services are there, forecasting services. Yeah, here we go. Let's say I'm talking about forecasting electricity bill forecast, right? So I'm talking about this AI services. Most of the AI services doesn't need any programming experience. That's a beauty. So especially by using forecast without writing any line of programming, by just adjusting few things in the console, just by uploading the CSV file right now in just 15 minutes, I can do the predictions right away. That's the power of yeah, the AWS platform here. Then we have Amazon Fraud Detector, especially if you're working on use cases related to bank sector, online transaction failures, ATM card, debit card failures. So you can use Fraud Detector. Then they have AI services related to developer and contact center that is related to, let's say, customer service providing. Yeah, and finally, here comes ML services. Let's say here is a platform where we need to spend more time. Obviously, if you want to become a machine learning specialist, so this is where we also need to focus more time. So Amazon SageMaker, the most powerful ML service what Amazon has built so far. You don't believe, by using Amazon SageMaker, I can build anything on top of it. I mean, I can build any AI services. So Amazon SageMaker is a complete tool which is provided for machine learning to work out this complete cycle that I'm talking about. So if you remember, I displayed this the complete workflow cycle. If you remember, so let me go back. So if you remember, I just displayed this complete uh, cycle, right? A typical workflow. You can set up this entire workflow on Amazon SageMaker. That's a power of Amazon SageMaker, which comes with a lot of tools like Ground Truth. You can also interact with software market like Amazon.in, Amazon.com. What we have to buy things, you can also buy a software algorithms from AWS Marketplace. And AWS SageMaker IDE, this is an IDE where we write a code, where we select the algorithms, where we deploy the algorithms, where we monitor, where we host the model, everything. And they have some other cutting edge technologies like Neo, which makes a lot of sound in edge computing, right? And then comes ML frameworks and infrastructures. Okay, that's good. Let's say, uh, so there are a lot of open source ML algorithms which is available in the world already. For example, TensorFlow, which is from Google, which is maintained by Google. Then we have Apache MXNet, PyTorch, Gluon, maybe scikit-learning, Keras, right? So all these open source algorithms which is available outside, right? You can also bring those algorithms inside AWS SageMaker. You can work with that, right? So yep. And deep learning AMIs. Amazon has their dedicated servers. If you're interested to get started with, AWS has all the cutting edge GPUs and CPUs, because we want a hardware, right? At the end of the day, to train a machine learning model, they have something called elastic inferences, which is alternative for GPUs, Inferentia, FPGA. This is what the entire stack will look. You won't believe, like, we're going to just learn everything about AWS ML stack completely in this particular course, actually. Okay, and this is what the important thing. So AWS machine learning specialty certification is not just teaching you about machine learning. So it's about, that's why it is called AWS machine learning specialist. So if you want a specialist, not just a machine learning, you need to also understand about AWS data engineering, data analysis tools in AWS. We're going to explore all these tools like Lambda, Amazon S3, EC2, Kinesis, Analytics, Glue, Athena, Redshift, QuickSight. Lot to come, but I couldn't display everything. But I will show you the course curriculum for you. We'll get some more knowledge. And the challenges in ML, the daily challenges, let's say if you are already a machine learning engineer, you might be exposed with these challenges already. This challenges, first let's try to understand, then we will try to see how this can be solved with SageMaker. SageMaker can completely solve all these problems. For example, starting from labeling our data, it may be picking up the right algorithm for your business use case, collecting and preparing your data, which is oh my god, it's a nightmare. Training a model, or maybe tuning your parameters, hyperparameters, storing your features, or maybe checking the biases and visualizing on the notebook. And more importantly, let's say if you're a machine learning engineer, already you know how to train a model, but how do we deploy a machine learning model, and how do we monitor a model after production, once if it is deployed in a production? And more importantly, how do we maintain the CI/CD pipeline, right? So where we do the continuous integration with that, right? So yeah, that's it. So that's what exactly SageMaker is for. SageMaker is the exact tool which is made for that, to solve all these problems. SageMaker is, which is actually built on an open source a platform on Jupyter notebooks, where you can use that one to I can explain this entire SageMaker in three words, which is called B T D. B for try, B for build, T for train, D for deployment. I mean, the SageMaker is especially made for data scientists, developers like us, where they can able to build, train, and deploy a machine learning model in a production ready hosting environment. Okay, so SageMaker can able to address all these problems. It may be maybe labeling your data, picking up the right algorithm, or maybe deployment, where it comes to the deployment, model monitoring, and implementing CI/CD pipeline. They have a couple of tools that you can follow to enhance that. So this is how the SageMaker console looks. For example, if we go there, so here is the notebook instance. We click it, we create a notebook instance. Then we can access Jupyter Notebooks IDE. We can dump our code there. We can run a machine learning model, train the model, and we can deploy a model over there itself. So that's how the platform looks. And so, so as I mentioned, this is the same typical workflow cycle that I displayed previously. So this is where we start. We fetch the data first, then we do cleaning a data. So then we prepare a data. Then once the data is prepared enough, then we train a machine learning model. So once the model is ready, then we do evaluating it. So if you are getting a valid results, if you're happy with that, you deploy the model in a production ready environment. So once the model ready, this is where your users comes into the picture. This is where your users comes and interact with your model. And then you can also monitor your model. You can collect a lot of logs, and you can use those logs. You can also collect a customer incoming customer data. And again, you can continue this cycle. Again, you can fetch the data. Again, you can clean it, retrain it. So the complete integration, the cycle, right? So Amazon SageMaker, the common use cases. SageMaker is everywhere. It may be any kind of industry that you're talking about. Maybe predictive maintenance use cases if you're from, let's say, manufacturing sector, automobiles, IoT. So demand forecasting, especially in case if you want to work on forecasting use cases, especially on retails, customer goods manufacturing, fraud detection, and financial services, online retails. Again, credit card predictions, financial services. Extract, analyze the data from documents. If you want to process a huge documents like legal documents, healthcare documents, education documents, as I mentioned, Amazon TextRack, for example, computer vision based use cases like health sector, pharmaceuticals, manufacturing. Obviously, autonomous driving. Who loves autonomous driving? Obviously, you can build a models, and you can implement such full-scale services inside AWS. Personalized recommendation services, churn prediction services, lot to come. So, and the great example for the scale, let's say the scale of innovation here, what you can see outside is Amazon itself, right? Amazon itself is a great example for their platform. You know that in Amazon e-commerce websites, like more than let's say 4,000 products has been processed in a minute, right? 1.6 million packages every day. So billions of Amazon Alexa interactions each week. So just imagine such scale. And you know that Amazon has already started air delivery. They have their own drones, like which delivers the product, right? So yeah, everything is possible. And if you know, like Amazon SageMaker itself, they have their own built-in algorithms. What they used to call, they have 20 plus inbuilt algorithms. You won't believe we're going to explore all these things in this course, obviously. So they have classification related algorithms, text related algorithms, regression related algorithms, computer vision, recommendation, anomaly detection, or maybe sequence translation techniques, topic modeling techniques, forecasting, clustering, or maybe feature reduction techniques. So we're going to explore all this, and we're also going to do a lot of hands-on. Not only this, if you want, like bringing up the open source algorithms from the internet, like say for example, working on very famous algorithm in the world, TensorFlow, working on Apache Spark, MXNet is possible. I mean, you can get all these algorithms inside AWS. So according to the latest survey, this is how the ranking of, let's say, algorithm stands for. So obviously TensorFlow stands in a first hand, then comes Keras, PyTorch, all this stuff. Yep, it's a good to start. So, okay, we have talked about all about this. How does a job opportunity looks in the field of AWS machine learning? So if we try to understand the reality, let's talk about the third final thing before we going for a demo, right? The demo is waiting still, so I'm excited to show you guys a demo also. So once after done with this, so job opportunities in AWS machine learning. So like you might be already a developer who is into machine learning, but after, let's say, getting into AWS machine learning, you add a plus into your resume. There is no doubt about it. So this is the latest survey which we took from IT Jobs UK co.uk. So you can see the latest trend, how it goes in a job market. So you can see that obviously the trend started picking up in early 2009 to 2010. So obviously from till date, you can see the trend is still exploding. Basically, you can see it's just growing up as a job vacancies. So the more important thing is there's a lot of the wide varieties of opportunities that is waiting for you in a many different sector. I mean, that's a beauty. So if you are a machine learning engineer, so there is no I mean, there is no like complexity is making choice, because you're a machine learning engineer, you can work for any sector where they have a machine learning use cases over there. So the latest data that we picked, so the machine learning jobs are available in each and every city. Maybe you're from Mumbai, maybe you're from Bangalore, Karnataka, or maybe you're from UK, US. So more than like thousands of jobs are available. More than thousands of jobs are available, especially for, let's say, AWS machine learning, what LinkedIn says. So, or maybe you're from United States. So starting from, let's say, startups to big MNCs, they are looking for people to hire for people who has knowledge on AWS, especially on machine learning. So you can see Naukri keeps on putting up a data like amount of AWS ML jobs in India, right? So let me just grab some more data for you to expose, right? So the next thing might be exploding your mind. You can see this is the average salary, the minimum, average, and maximum salary what the Indian citizen gets over here. So the minimum salary starts from 500k, and you can see average salary goes to 1500k, that is 15 lakhs per annum. Then check it out, the maximum, this is where I'm exploding, like 7000k. So I'm talking in the perspective of the hiring companies like this. So that there is no doubt about it. Machine learning jobs are the life-changing jobs what we have today. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, saying all this, I know like you are filled with a lot of information, the valuable information. Why don't we start doing some demos? Okay, so let's get started. So I would like to give a first demo on AI services, especially. Let's go to a service called Amazon Recognition. Let's do some computer vision today. Okay, let's get started. Let me check where is my console. Yeah, so it's over here. Yep. So here we go. So I have already logged into my AWS management console. So yes, once after you getting into this course, we will help you to create AWS account. No worries, AWS provides 1 year free trial for anyone. So you can use AWS, you can practice, learn AWS for free for next 1 year. No issues with that, with limitations. So once you log in, this is how your AWS console looks. So here you have a search, you have services where you can search for the each and every services that you have. So AWS has a wide varieties of services like analytics services, applications, yeah, VR, blockchain services, business application, compute, container services, databases, customer enablements, developer tools, front end and web applications services, end user compute, game development, IoT, Internet of Things. And here comes our beauty, like machine learning. So management services, media services, migration services, network and content delivery services, quantum computing. Oh my God. So what if I talk something related to quantum computing and AI? So that's again, there is 11, there are 10 predictions for 2020 for what is going to happen in the technologies, especially in 2022. So there is a huge piece of cake is offered for quantum computing. I mean, there's a quantum computing along with AI that can break a lot of things in industry. So robotic services, the satellite services, security and identity storage. So let's go to machine learning services. And what I want is Amazon recognition. Here we go. So what I mentioned, Amazon Recognition is a complete computer vision application. It's a deep learning based visual analysis service. Okay. So before I'm getting started with Amazon Recognition, I just want to tell some truth in case if you're joining from US. So uh, just let me know in case anyone is joining from US. Otherwise, you are working in US. Just tell me yes. So I will tell you like you might be not aware about this. Okay, Srinivas said yes, he is from US. That's cool. Amazon recognition is actually used by US government if you don't know. So Amazon recognition is used for US government, especially for the crazy tech that we are talking about, like finding a matching faces, and they have different use cases obviously. What do you mean by that? Finding a matching faces. So we are fans of Hollywood, Bollywood, whatever the wood it might be. So we watch movies, right? So you know that when a terrorist entering a city, when terrorists is entering a city, like government uses like a face matching algorithm to find if there is a matching face, if the terrorist is in a different shape, right? So for exact similar technologies, Amazon recognition is being used by US government. So Amazon recognition can do a lot of crazy things. Let's get started with the first use case, that is label detection. Okay, here we go. So here is a default picture which is uploaded by Amazon itself. You can see a guy who is like he is just skating in a street, right? So uh, so my machine has already made a predictions, obviously as quick as possible. So if I move my cursor, you can see the algorithm predicts it's a person, and if I move my cursor below there, it predicts it's a skateboard. Yeah, it's awesome, right? So you can see even if I move my cursor towards the cars, it predicts a car, it predicts a wheel, car wheel, right? Yeah, looks awesome. That's cool, but the more fun comes towards the right side. You can see my machine learning model also predicted the out. It has outputted a couple of labels, and with confidence score, the accuracy. So you can see it says car 98.8 percentage. I mean, my algorithm is sure 98.8 percentage there is a car in the picture. Obviously, automobile, vehicle, transportation, person. Obviously, all these terms represents the automobiles there. There's a human being, pedestrian, skateboard. That's good. Check out the accuracy, 94.3. That makes sense. There's a skateboard. Sports, road, wheel, machine, path, downtown, city. You can see the more important thing is it's not just observing and predicting the objects. It can also predict the scenery. So a machine knows it's a town. It's a city, right? It's a scenery, building, parking, architectures, a lot of other things. And if I scroll down, you can see the accuracy comes lower. So it says there's a sports car, but there is no sports car. The check out the accuracy, it's 56%. Makes sense, right? So what if I upload a picture from my laptop? Let me check it out if I have any pictures so I can upload it. So let's say, yeah, here we go. So here I'm uploading a picture that we have took from our offline workshop. We do offline workshop from Bangalore, India, obviously. So yeah, not possible right now due to this COVID situations. So you can see it is already making a predictions. You can see it's predicts a laptop, computer keypad, chair, person, right? Again a laptop, and I have a lot of predictions towards my right side. It says PC, computer, electronics, laptop, person, human, computer keypad. Makes sense. 98.4% LCD screen. Yeah, do I have LCD screens? Yeah, these are LCD screens. And I have one more person here. That's me actually teaching for a professionals like you guys. Okay, awesome. So makes sense. This is what label detection is. And let me go to the next stuff. Uh, okay, let me go to facial analysis, which I love most. So facial analysis, here we go. Awesome. So you can see there is a beautiful woman. She is driving a car, and this is a phase analysis. It's only take us about the phase. It doesn't consider any part of a picture. So you can see there is a bounding box on top of it, and it has made a couple of predictions towards right side. Let us check it out. So it says looks like a phase, 99.8 percentage, appears to be female. That's good, right? It can able to identify the gender. 99.3 percentage. Check out the age range. It says 21 to 33 years old. Obviously makes sense. Smiling, appears to be happy, wearing glasses, wearing sunglasses, eyes are open. How does the algorithm knows whether the eyes are open or not? So obviously considering the situation, we can come to the conclusion, yeah, she must open her eyes. So mouth is open, does not have a mustache. Yes, so 99 percentage, she doesn't have a mustache, so it doesn't have a beard. Yeah, makes sense. And let me toggle the picture over here. There's one more sample picture. So here I have a three faces. I can toggle between each and every faces that I want. So let me go to the picture of a kid and let me check out the predictions here. It says looks like a face, appears to be female. This algorithm is quite good. So it can able to identify the gender of a baby. Check out the age range, which I love most. Age range 5 to 15 years old. Exactly. That's correct. Smiling, appears to be happy, not wearing sunglasses, and a lot of other details. Yes, makes sense. So facial analysis. And let me quickly go to one more AI service, that is celebrity recognition. So this is meant for searching for celebrities, recognizing a celebrities. Obviously, Jeff Bezos, right? So the former CEO of Amazon. Now he is doing a lot of things with his rocket company. Yeah. So Jeff Bezos, is a celebrity. If I upload any of the celebrity, so you can it will make a prediction. Obviously, if I hit learn more, it goes to IMDb if I'm not wrong. It's going some wiki data. Fine, no issues. Okay, let's go for one more hands-on. That is face comparison. So this is similar kind of an algorithm. Maybe US government is using for comparing the faces. Okay, this is how the story is. Let's say here I have reference face towards my left side and I have comparison face towards my right side. So what I'm trying to find the phase in the reference phase, whether I have in the comparison phase over there. So yeah, let's see. So here I have a lot of samples which I can try to toggle. Yeah, so here I have my results towards right side. It says so the face towards left side is present in right side comparison phase, and not only just comparison, it is also cropped the exact the face location, and it has told the similarity 99.9 percentage. And I have remaining three faces which says it is not matched. Makes sense. And let me just toggle a different phase here. Yeah, as quick as possible, you can see. So similarity 99.9 percentage. Obviously that girl is over here. Obviously that maybe like almost the in a comparison phase I can see only like almost 80 percentage of a phase, not completely 100 percentage, but still, yeah, algorithm makes sense. Then comes text in image. So text in image. So you can see this is an algorithm which can able to extract a text from an image. So this is again an alternative for document processing, but yeah, so but it is good for extracting a data from a text. If I go to this picture of a car, and obviously it can able to extract the number plate, and number plate details are towards right side, right? So try to imagine such technologies what you can build with Amazon. So AWS machine learning specialty certification makes you ready as a professional. So let's say tomorrow the client comes and explains a requirement, any kind of a client, so you will be ready to build anything on top of AWS. So that's a beauty. Let's say you can integrate this Amazon recognition with the traffic lights in India, for example. Let's say anyone crossing a red light, so we can capture a number plate, we use Amazon recognition to extract a number plate, and we find that guy automatically, right? So yeah, we can think of many different use cases like that. And finally, I have PPE detection. So this is the latest technology, actually the latest feature Amazon has built during this pandemic. So it can able to recognize the let's say whether the person, like the details on the PPEs, like head guard, face guard, hand cover, blah blah blah. So, and you also get a lot of predictions here: person detected, face detector, face card detected, a lot of stuff, right? So what if I give a use case today, tomorrow you can build it? Obviously, yeah. So a bit of hands on after that. So let's say, so obviously due to this pandemic situation, obviously we are trying to shift it to offline space, right? Offline spaces. So what happens, you can see the complete biometric system has been gone. Like if you're going for an office, you use biometric to signing in and signing off, right? Right now there's no biometric, obviously, due to this COVID situation. So you might have seen people are trying to look for a different solution. What if we can able to build a solution, like let's say if you're going for an office and there is a camera in a front of an entrance, it provides entry only if you're wearing a let's say head let's say let's say PPEs, like especially a face card, a mask, right? So yeah, so it is possible. So you can integrate, you can use Amazon recognition to do that exactly. So that's the stuff. So this is about Amazon recognition. So I would like to give a one more demo, and then I will talk about the course informations, what we are offering, and other details. So then let me just quickly go to one more AI service that I want to give a demo, that is on a chatbot, obviously. So let me give a quick demo on a chatbot that I built for a flower shop. Let me go to AI machine learning services. I will go for Amazon Lex, which is a chatbot service. Awesome. So, like chatbots are ruling a world. By using Amazon Lex, you can build anything that you want. Amazon Lex can be integrated with your e-commerce website directly. Let's say a customer comes and orders some products from chatbot itself. You can trigger a notifications, whatever it is, to your backend team, maybe your shipping team. So completely this can be automated. And even you can integrate Amazon Lex with your websites. You can integrate that with your Facebook, a lot of things. So here I have built a chatbot. So you can see it is uh, so Amazon Lex is both virtual assistant and virtual voice assistant. It's both. That means I can interact with voice, and I can also interact with a text. Okay. So here is a quick demo. I'm in a flower shop. Okay. So first of all, to build a chatbot, first of all, you need to do some groundwork. I mean, let's say if I'm building a chatbot for a pizza shop, like you need to understand the customer first. Like how does a customer might interact with a chatbot. Let's say if I'm coming for a pizza shop, I may tell, okay, I would like to order some pepperoni pizza with extra cheese on it, maybe with extra spice on it, blah blah blah, right? That's how I talk. So you need to have that information. Let's say here I have built a chatbot for a flower shop. So let me just give a quick demo on it. So first let me try to interact with a voice. Let's see what it gets. Okay, here we go. I would like to order some flowers. I'm inputting audio now.
What type of flowers would you like to order?
So probably you might be heard it. So it is replaying back saying what type of flowers would you like to order. So I can just type roses. Cool. If I input the text, I won't get the audio. I will get the replay as text. What date you want to order these flowers? Maybe let me tell. Uh, let me just type 03 tomorrow. Probably, yeah. So yeah. So you want to pick up the roses at what time tomorrow? Let me just tell 9 a.m. Okay, that's bad. So our business hours are from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So would you like to choose a time from that? Okay, cool. Let me just pick 10 a.m. That works for me. Okay, your roses will be picked up at tomorrow at 10 a.m. will cost $25. Sounds okay? Yeah. Okay. That's fine. This is about Amazon Lex. So there's more crazy technologies that is coming up. So let me just give a clarity on the course information, the curriculum. Then I will provide more demos. There are few more demos I would like to show. So before that, let's go back and let's try to understand so the course informations first, then we will get started. So we are talking about AWS machine learning specialty certification course. When exactly this course is getting started, what is the curriculum, what are the pricing details, all the stuff. So what is the time, what is the dates first of all? So we are getting started with this particular course from January 22nd. So this is how the dates are. This is what the scheduled dates are. So we this complete certification course is starting from January 22nd. Maybe it might end on 13th of Feb, but the I mean, obviously, we doesn't worry about the time. It's we what we worry about the completion of that, complete making sure you do all the hands-on during the course, all the stuff. The timings are something like this. If you're joining from India, your time will be 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST. If you're joining from US, it will be 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. EST. If you're joining from CET time zone, your time will be 2:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Okay, so this is the details are, and you might be having a couple of questions to ask, but I try to collect a few questions that you might have in your mind. Let me try to understand. Okay, so do you need to attend all the sessions? Yes, you need to attend all the sessions. You need to do all the hands-on that we will be building. So will you get a course recording videos? Obviously, you will be receiving all the recordings, slides, materials from us. Let's say this course is only on weekends, every Saturday, Sunday. Whatever the dates that you're seeing is on only on Saturday, Sundays. Okay, so every Saturday, Sunday we'll do the course. On every Monday, you'll be receive the recordings. You will receive a certificate, the course completion certificate from us, obviously. And what other opportunities that you might waiting for? Obviously, let's say once after completing this course, there is no tata bye bye for you. So because we as a community, we are trying to build a huge community. For the few people you might be already in our group, have used to provide a lot of data each and every day. So we are trying to build a community where we keep on feeding a lot of data. So it may be opportunities in MLAI. So let's say useful resource materials, reads. You can attend a lot of free webinars that we do, a lot of things. Let's say if you are a student, what else is waiting for? So if you're a student, if you're interested, we can offer a 1 month free internship, no cost. So obviously you can work with our internal projects, let's say, and obviously we give an experience certificate. So obviously, let's say people who are, let's say, a lot of people ask this question. I mean, I remember yesterday a person asked this question. So there are people who doesn't have, let's say, they want to gain some experience, they want to give some they want to get some letter. You can also apply for internship, so if it is works for you. So what are the prerequisites? Who can get started? Anyone from science and engineering background, they can get started with this course, no worries. So not much programming experience is needed, but still if you have any basics on any programming language, let's say Python or maybe C++, Java would help. So that's the thing. And yeah, these are the time zones again, the date and time. So okay, yeah, so here we go. So like, let's say like AWS machine learning specialty certification is from directly from AWS. It's not something that we randomly designed it. It's according to their standards. Each and every curriculum that we have offered is according to their standards. So this is what exactly AWS curriculum weightage is for. So once after completing this certification, you can write an exam to AWS. You can receive a certificate directly from AWS. So there are three domains where we give more importance. That is data engineering, where 20 percentage of the weightage is; exploratory data analysis, where 24 percentage the weightage is; and here comes modeling. This is where we do a lot of deep learning, model training, lot of things. 36 percentage where it is covered. And where comes machine learning implementation operation. This is where the things comes like deployment, monitoring your machine learning model in a production ready environment. So 20 percentage weightage comes. So this is how exactly our curriculum is designed. Okay, the most important thing that you need to understand why this certification, first of all, how this is differing, like how it is making you unique when you're looking for a job opportunities. So benefits for an individual. Obviously, it demonstrates you have a expertise in AWS machine learning, you are a specialist, you will be earning a recognition and visibility comparing with anyone. Let's say you have a machine learning, a person knows machine learning, but obviously you have done certificate, you have a recognition and visibility because AWS, let's say once you're completing a certificate, you have a valid credible certificate from AWS, right? Foster credibility with your employees and peers. That's what I mentioned. So let's say how it is being benefited for the employees who hire you, right? That's where the important things comes into the picture. So identifying the skilled IT professionals with AWS background makes very easier once you completed the certificate. So reduced risk and cost. Obviously, because let's say AWS certifies, let's say you are a specialist, then what else that companies needed so they can hire you, right? So increases customer satisfaction. Obviously, at the end of the day, serving the customer, right? You will be serving a customer, the customer will be happy at the end of the day. So I'm a fresher, can I learn it? Yes. If you're a fresher, you can join this course. This course is exactly designed for students also to be getting started. I will explain that how the things work here. So because I told you like everything that we are teaching in this course according to AWS standards, but we have included extra things inside. So additional to that, what I mean by that is nothing but we'll be getting started with basics. That's the most important thing. That's why people love our courses. So we will be getting started with basics. I mean, let me explain that when I'm explaining about the curriculum. So yeah, as I mentioned, any programming language necessary. If you have any basics, would help. Yeah. Okay. And a very important question what professionals ask, will you cover any live projects, implementations? Yes. So in this particular course, we'll be doing 5+ real-time projects, one real-time pipeline implementation projects. Okay, so what I mean by real-time projects, we take a real-time data which is available in internet use cases and we build a real-time model, right? Okay. And here comes the important thing that I would like to display this slide for anyone else. Because yes, I delivered a lot of data today, but so somewhere you also realize before attending this webinar, a lot of people talk about ML and AI. And you know that the revolution of internet, how it takes place in early 90s, you know, like, so like, the person who comes first takes the big chunk of pieces, right? Piece of cake. That's what exactly that applies for anyone else. So this is the right time to get started, because if not today, then when? Actually, I guess, yeah. So you can see one good example is when the technologies like a drone technologies came into the picture. I mean, just in 10 years, this revolution just changes the complete industry. So the pilot and cameraman has been replaced with drones, right? So that's what exactly happening today in AI and ML. So yeah, so this is the entire overview of this particular certification. So there are more than 30+ hands-on labs itself that we will be doing during this course actually. And as I mentioned, 5 real-time industrial projects, one real-time pipeline implementation project. So dedicated mentoring. So I will be a mentor for you guys over there. It will be for fun like this. So this course is dedicated for 36 hours, and we'll be also giving a lot of assignments like where you can still practice to get better. Okay. And what you asked for, here we go. So this is the pricing structure what we have, and this is the very affordable pricing structure what we had for the entire year throughout this year. So yeah, so we have a two kind of seats. One is a per person. In case if you're joining as an individual, the pricing will start from 14,999. That's it. Okay. So, and what else that you're going to get it from here? So you're going to get access for free ebooks, recordings, community support. It may be once after finishing a course, you'll be added to our community group. You can ask any questions, suggestions, doubts, access to free webinars that we do, the more hands-on guides that we provide, a lot of things. Otherwise, let's say if you're deciding to joining as a group, let's say you're suggesting your friend to join along with you, you'll get a 10% discount if you're joining as a group ticket. So yeah, that's a difference. So, and more importantly, we are doing this course only for, let's say, a batch of 10 people. That's it, not for more, because we are sticking to very less batch. So not for higher number of people, because it's a completely hands-on course. We need to ensure at the end of the day, like you are doing all the hands-on by its own, right? Yeah. So, and Stephen asked, is that an exam for the certification included? So the fee that we are showing, it's not for the exam. That's where the things comes into the picture. So AWS, in case, like, because writing an exam or not, it's completely optional for you. If you want, like, let's say a lot of working professionals comes, like, they are already working on ML project in their company, but they need a skill sets for AWS machine learning. That's why they are attending our courses. There's a one category of peoples. There are one category of peoples, they want to complete the examination from AWS, they want to get a certificate. So AWS charges you $300 for writing an exam that is not included here. So like $300, if you consider in the Indian price, it will come 30,000 rupees. Okay, so AWS charges 30,000 rupees for you to write an exam. So for the course, we are just charging 15,000 rupees. Okay. And in case if you're looking for a pricing structure in a dollars, if you're international participants, you can also register through our platform. The pricing structure is something like this. It's a $205 per person. Yep, it's only for 10 peoples in a batch, not more than that. And we are in a new year, right? What else that we can offer you, right? Like, so because what else that we can able to offer you? Like, I'm just picking up my mind and trying to like what else the more value beneficiary that I can add for you guys. So we trying to come up with this offer. This can be only for this batch, only for this batch. Here we go. So we have some special offer, but I will tell you what is the special offer is. So all the registered participants of this batch, they're going to get one more free access to, I mean, one more free retake. What do I mean by retake? So all the registered participants, they can retake a live session once again of this same course. Let's say if you're finishing this course for this batch, you can retake a live session for next batch. This is only for this batch, not for the next batch. So yeah, so every person who register for this batch, they get option to retake live sessions once again for the next batch. This offer lasts for only for this batch. Okay, so this applies for international participants, all those details. Yes, so this is the stuff. And if you really feel the pricing is high, no, I'm not. So because I will suggest you to just do some googling, you will come up the pictures that there's a crazy prices what people used to charge for the same exact course, not for 36 hours even. So this is in, I guess, probably in a pounds. If I'm not wrong, it's in 1,495. It goes beyond like 30,000 rupees. So the pricing structure is really affordable. I will suggest you to do some quick research. You might get some quick answers. No worries about that. And why do you think Psitron Technologies is the best persons to do this? What do you know about Psitron Technologies? As I mentioned, we have a domain expertise in AI and ML, and this is not the first batch we are doing. We are doing it for fifth batch already. So we are doing it for fifth batch already, and we are supported by government of India, and we are incubated in PSG Step Coimbatore, and we are also funded by Nidhi EIR, and we have won a couple of honors and prizes. We have been honored as a best startup award from FKCCI Bangalore in 2018, and we represented our company in a very international stages like Living Talent, and worked with projects with Hilti, and obviously we won awards with Reliance Unlimit, and we are part of AWS Activate program. It's a program where AWS support us in our product development, all this stuff, obviously. And here comes all our valuable customers' feedbacks who attended our previous workshops, courses. They all feel happy because I want to keep all my sessions as fun as this demo session, obviously, right? So yeah, this is how it is. So like people really like it. They gave valuable feedback. They connected with our community WhatsApp group forever, and people who completed our certificate the courses, they also done an examination, and they also completed the examination, which we proud of, and we want everyone you to also complete the examination, obviously. So this is all about it. We also done a lot of offline classes outside, and yeah, this is stuff. So, and right now I would like to provide one more demo, and then I will open the session for Q&A. We can talk about a lot of things today. So someone is asking for the price. The price is 14,999. In case if if you're joining from India, if you're an international participant, it will start from $205. So what I will do, I will quickly share I will quickly share the course registration informations and curriculum information download link in a chat window. Before that, I will share the curriculum informations. Let me show the curriculum, what exactly that we will be learning in this the complete session. Then I will give a demo. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here is the PDF. I will share this PDF in a few seconds once after I explain the details here. Okay, so what exactly that we're going to learn? Yep, here comes the very important information. So I told you, like, we're going to getting started with the basics, because the basics is not part of this AWS machine learning specialty, but we are helping to beginners to get started with the basics. So the first the sessions will be on refreshing basics. We'll be getting started with Python basics, let's say. So here the thing. So, like, I mean, this is not the Python course that we are teaching, but we are refreshing a Python basics. And let's say if you're a beginner in Python, we'll be sharing additional resources which can able to boost you for getting started with Python. That's how the things work. So Python basics will be learning a lot of things, and wherever I have mentioned hands-on, that means we'll be doing something practicals. So, like, we'll be working on libraries like pandas, statistics and probability. We'll be completely digging deep into statistics and probability. We'll be working on use case the topics like data types, mean, mode, median, probabilities, common data distributions, percentile and moments. Maybe all the topics might be similar that you might be heard about in the school education, but yeah, we'll be doing it in a hands-on. And then comes data engineering basics. This is where we talk about much about data engineering with Python, like working on a tools like what is bias and variance, what is normalization techniques, k-fold cross validation techniques, which I love most to working on. So otherwise techniques like oversampling, undersampling, what is this binning, transformation, encoding, scaling, outliers, handling outliers, which is important topic. So once we are done with the basics, and here you go. So this is where we will be getting started with AWS. So the first, the chapter will be data engineering in AWS. So this is where we'll be exploring a lot of services inside AWS, like working on the most powerful storage services, Amazon S3, obviously. So because, as I mentioned, it's not just about machine learning, we'll learn a lot. So we'll talk about Amazon S3, very powerful storage platform, and we talk about a lot of best practices for industries like security aspects, all this stuff. Then we'll be talking about and doing hands-on on very powerful ETL tool that is called AWS Glue, right? ETL is one of the very powerful tool, especially when you have a data, let's say where you want to do ETL, like let's say you have a CSV file, you want to convert that into JSON file, right, for your machine learning. And here comes Kinesis, the most powerful data streaming services, which is alternative to Apache Kafka. So then we have Athena, and then we have other data stores for machine learning and other topics that we'll be discussing. Then comes data analysis in AWS. So you can see data engineering is over. Then comes data analysis. So this is where we talk about data analysis, preparing a data in Jupyter notebooks, talking about time series, trends and seasonalities, and obviously about QuickSight, which I just talked. Amazon QuickSight is a tool where you can upload a data and visualize it without writing any programming, obviously, on top of it. And then we're going to talk about Hadoop. Obviously, we're going to talk about tools like tools in big data and Elastic MapReduce, which is part of AWS. We're also going to do a lot of hands-on. And then comes modeling in AWS. So this is where we're going to talk about deep learning. We'll talk about deep learning, what is activation function, different kinds of deep neural networks, and deep learning using AWS EC2, EMR, and other things like tuning neural networks, regularization, parameters, L1, L2 regularization, confusion matrix. Those are the tools that we use to measure the models. And here we go. AI services. We're going to explore all the AI services. You can see all I have mentioned all, and we're going to do hands-on on a specific algorithm which is makes a lot of sound in the job market. And very important part of this course, where we're going to spend maximum amount of our time is on machine learning in Amazon SageMaker. So you can see we'll be getting started with SageMaker. We'll be learning about how to use Amazon S3 as a storage platform for our models, our data types, how to call Amazon S3 in Amazon SageMaker. Let's say model development, model deployment, validation. And here comes the SageMaker built-in algorithms. As I mentioned, we're going to explore all these algorithms, and we're going to pick a specific algorithms, and we're going to do hands-on, the real-time projects on top of this. So image classification, linear learner, random cut forest. And then comes model training and tuning. Then comes model deployment. This is where we will be talking about how to deploy a model, how to maintain that CI/CD pipeline, right? So how to monitor a model, a lot of other options. And here comes ML frameworks, which is supported by SageMaker. Like we'll be talking about Apache Spark, TensorFlow. We're going to do hands-on on TensorFlow, obviously, Apache MXNet, scikit-learning, PyTorch. Then comes the final topic, that is ground truth. So once after ground truth is over, the final chapter will be monitoring and watching. That's where the conclusion is. Let's say you have deployed a model in a production. Now you need to monitor it. You need to analyze if there is any drift in a model, error in a model. So that's why you use monitoring and watching tools. Then we discuss about SageMaker SDK. This SDK will help you to understand, to construct your front-end applications, to interact with your model, where your customers, users interacts with it. Yeah, so this is about it. You will find pricing details in this PDF, and other details, FAQ informations, and customer feedbacks, a lot of other informations in this. So what I will do, I will quickly share the registration link and the download link for this curriculum. You can download this PDF and the registration link. The first link will be registration link, and second will be the course curriculum link. So I will take few more minutes before I share the download link for the ebooks. So I will like to provide one more demo. So then we will get started. Okay, let me go back to my AWS console, and I would like to show a demo on one more AI service. Uh, let's go to machine learning. Then we will go for, oh, sorry, I clicked on wrong one. So I will open the session after this demo for a Q&A. You can ask any questions. You can unmute your mic. You can ask us a questions. Let me help you understand the things, no issues. Okay, uh, maybe not comprehend. Let's go back to, okay, 1 second. So you can start asking your questions before I pick up the which AI model, considering the time concerns, so that I can give a demo. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to talk about the next AI service, which is actually Amazon Transcribe. There's a lot of AI services that I cannot just provide demo like right away, like because it considering a time concern. So Amazon Transcribe is an automatic speech recognition platform, so which can able to convert my speech into audio. So let us get started. If I hit create a transcribe job, so here you can see this text box which is empty. If I start streaming, so it will start converting my audio into text here. Okay, so let's get started. So if I hit start streaming, hello. Okay, I guess, yeah, it's activated. Let's see. Yeah, hello folks. Yeah, so you can see now whatever I talk, it can able to convert my audio into text. Okay, so I would like to thank everyone, obviously, for spending your valuable time in this holiday for this demo. I hope you enjoyed all this demos and more to come. So I would like to keep this entire course as fun as possible and learn a lot of things. And this is what exactly Amazon Transcribe does. but more to come. We can build a future with this. So join us in this AWS Machine Learning Specialty course. And now let me open the session for Q&A. Yep. Yeah, you can see how everything is got converted. Okay, so now I'm getting a lot of questions. Let me try to answer that. Okay, so here we go. So Shruti has asked a question: should we need to pay a money at once? Yeah. So because a lot of people ask this questions, yes, we have only one-time payment here because so the actual course fee is 30,000 rupees, where we are offering it for just 15,000 rupees. But when we charge 30,000 rupees before the batches, we used to have a different options, payment options, like you can pay it for twice. But right now the price is very less. It's just 15,000 rupees, right? We have only one payment option, just 15,000 rupees. Yeah. So but make sure we have only seats for, let's say, 10 peoples. There is no last date for registration. Once we have occupied 10 seats, the registration will be completed. So that's how it works. But anyway, you have a time to decide upon and do it. And let me know, like you can reach out to me and you can ask me a question so anytime. So now I'm going to share the links once again. I have also shared the download link for ebooks. You can download that later once after the Q&A is over, no issues. The first link is for registration link for the course, second link for curriculum download, third link for downloading ebooks. Okay, I have a couple of questions. Let me answer that. So Bhavesh has asked a question. So any new year offer? Yes, Bhavesh, here we have a new year offer. So what we are offering for new year is this, like let's say, so so it may be any registered participant for this batch, he will get a chance to attend one more live session on the next batch. I mean, why do we do that? Because we have getting a lot of questions. Let's say once the person has attended a batch, they want to revise it. Maybe for the next batch, you might expect a few updates from AWS, new technologies. Maybe you can also revise it once again. That's how it works. So this is a new year offer that we have. You can retake our live session once again for the next batch. But this is only for this batch. Okay, so then okay, so then I have one more question. Prajesh asked, how to apply for internship that you mentioned in between. Please tell me, sir, internship is compulsory for any university curriculum. Makes sense. So Prajesh, so once after completing this course, you can apply for an internship. So you will be given an opportunity to work with us in our team with ML and AI. Let's say minimum duration for internship will be 1 month. Yeah. So if you can able to provide maximum amount of your time, so then we can work out with that. No issues. So Srinivas asked a question, do any other AWS certificate goes hands-on with this one or sub? Okay, so that's a good question, Srinivas. Does any AWS certificate goes hands-on with this one or just suppose this one? So because any AWS certifications that you're taking, it's actually, let's say, it goes along with other certifications to probably, let's say, AWS solution architect. In AWS solution architect also, like you will be learning, let's say, if I go to curriculum, so in AWS Solution Architect certification also, you'll be learning most amount of the tools in data engineering here. So you will be learning about S3, you'll be learning about Kinesis, you'll be talking about databases, different kinds of databases over there. Yep. And there are few AI services also which comes under AWS Solution Architect. And I can mention few more certifications also. Even a few things comes under DevOps. For example, MLOps. Okay, so MLOps is all about the deployment part of it. Let's say because we are talking about MLOps, where it comes once after we deploy a machine learning model and maintaining the CI/CD pipeline, those stuff. Yep. Okay, so Ranjan asked a question. I'm an electrical engineer. How this course will be useful in my profession? Job opportunities. Yeah, that's it. What I'm telling is, like, say, like you're telling you're an electrical engineering domain. You want to getting started with machine learning. As I mentioned, opportunities are everywhere. Let's say you want to be an electrical engineer itself, but you want to do machine learning with your stream. A lot of opportunities in electrical engineering domain. So for example, where IoT comes along with machine learning, where you get a lot of opportunities, Rajan. So you know that a lot of IoT is all about getting a data, and once you have a data, from your sensors, let's say electrical data that is coming from a manufacturing industry, electrical data coming from your bikes, whatever it is. Then we take a data, do a machine learning model, then get a value to your customers. That there are more opportunities comes into the picture. So okay, so then we got one more question. Radesh, how much amount of programming part to AWS ML? So you can see like in this particular certification program. So I mean, I will not tell okay, it's a completely programming, because there's a lot of tools that we will be learning without programming. For example, all these AI tools, you don't need any line of programming to be written, not for any AI services. And let's say to learn all about AWS data engineering, there's no need of any line of programming. For data analysis, there's a minimal programming, especially when we are working on Hadoop, all those stuff, but it's very less. And where we use most of the programming, obviously on SageMaker, when we are training a model, that's where the most programming lies. Obviously, like, so Radesh, like if you're not, you are avoiding programming, let's say you like, obviously like it's very difficult. Like if you want to become a specialist, if you have like, if you're thinking of getting into like a machine learning, getting that fancy jobs, fancy pay, yes, so you need to become an expert someday, but not maybe like, let's say immediately. Yeah. So said thanks for a knowledge sharing, good session. Thanks have a great day. So FPGA is like a AI soon. Like FPGA is a kind of a hardware, Stephen, which is available in AWS. Uh, so FPGA is called actually field programming gate array. Is a kind of a hardware that you can use actually to as part of a machine learning in AWS. So Abdul asked a question. Hi, my friend is civil engineer. Will be helpful? So okay, civil engineer is completely different domain. But let's say if you are a beginner, let's say you are a student, a beginner getting started, yes, I guess you can get started with programming. Then yeah, so would help. I mean, if you're looking for shifting a domain, that helps. Yeah, obviously, like we will be helping you to getting started with Python, but we don't teach Python completely, because that's not the courses. The course is about machine learning. So we provide a lot of additional supporting materials where we make sure you learn Python there. Yeah. It's okay, no issues, Srinivas, it's completely okay. Okay. Okay, so Kush asked a question, will we get a certificate of this demo? So we won't be providing certificate for this demo. So you will get the certificate once after completing this course, yes. Okay, okay, got it, Srinivas. So you're asking, okay, so it's a good question what Srinivas does. Okay, in order to take this certificate, do I need to take any other certificate? No, not necessarily. So no AWS certificate is like that. So let's say AWS has a lot of certifications: AWS Solution Architect, Associate Professional, DevOps, Developer, Big Data, machine learning specialist. So there's no need of you taking any other certificate to take this specialist. You can directly take AWS Machine Learning Specialist certification. Thanks, Venugopal Reddy, for your feedback. So excellent demos are very interesting.
Sir, please repeat how much amount of programming part to AWS ML.
So like, okay, so I mean, I cannot put a number here on this course because it's very difficult for me to measure. So let me tell you where we use programming, where we're not going to use programming. So let's say obviously on refreshing basics, we'll be teaching you Python. Obviously, you need to learn Python. You do programming there. So and obviously on statistics and probably data engineering, we do programming. I mean, I teach programming for you over there. That's how it works. So, and no worries, each and every line of programming that we will be teaching, we'll be explaining each and everything. And data engineering, there won't be any programming here. In data analysis, we will have minimal programming, especially in, let's say, in Hadoop, all those topics. And modeling in AWS, there is no much programming as of right now, because the hands-on comes later. In AI services, there is no any line of programming, but the majority of programming comes in Amazon SageMaker. This is where, let's say we do this 5 real-time projects. one pipeline implementation, there is a programming. Yes, building a model, deployment of a model is everything on a Python. We will be explaining that.
Thank you, sir.
So, okay, Abdul asked a question. I'm an electrical engineer working as a faculty. Now I want to change my field. How AWS can help? So, like you want to, Abdul, like you're mentioning, like you want to change the field. So, what field? I mean, you're looking for changing it to IT, machine learning. Yes, maybe this course can be a get started for you. Let's say like how, like let's say a beginners like you, like how can they approach a job? So there are multiple options given. Let's say for most amount of the IT professionals, like who are coming from a different IT profession domain, their past experience will add it to for you, always makes a sound. So once after completing the certificate, let's say I will suggest you to take 1 month, do a lot of practice, build your portfolio, build a lot of projects, upload it to GitHub, represent yourself, and that then you can try to apply for a jobs that would help for you. So there are a lot of ways that you can get a job in ML. You can so there is, if you have like your experience ads, and let's say if you're completely a beginner, so you can attend a lot of competitions. There are different ways of companies hires. There is a hiring challenge. You just go and build a project for them in just 2 days, and yes, you will be hired. So there are different ways that you can do. So once after completing this course, how we are supporting in the perspective of a job, all this stuff. So we are connected with a lot of companies, MNCs, startups. So we, each and every companies are looking for a job. We know that they are looking for AWS ML. So we share those resources in our group. Okay, Bhavesh asked a question. I'm working with a Python and machine learning. Is it useful for you? Yes, especially yes, Bhavesh. Exactly. You are the one who is looking for this particular certificate I can mention. So everything that we talked about today is machine learning, and obviously we use Python, Bhavesh. So it's especially yes for you. So do we get a recording of this demo, Prashant? Yes, you will get a recording probably by tomorrow. So great session. Thanks for sharing information. Okay, so thank you for your patience, and just remember the dates. We will be closing a registration once the 10 seats are getting filled. So don't miss this session, because you'll be getting a chance to retake this live sessions once again once after completing it. Okay, so yeah, this is a certification which makes a lot of sound in job market, especially in AIML. So yep. Yes, Pratik. Hi. Yes. So you have any questions to ask? Let me know.
Hello.
Sir, what is the difference between machine learning, AWS machine learning and Python for data science? Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. I guess I got been muted. So Pratik, that's what I'm mentioning. So like, let's say there are two guys going for a job. One guy has a certificate, AWS Machine Learning specialty. One guy doesn't. So the person who has a certificate, he will be recognized to get a job, obviously because of these reasons. Because AWS certifies you are a professional, and it's actually a reduction of a risk for an employer, a company which is hiring you actually. So that's the one reason that I can mention. So, and there are a lot of other things that I can explain, because here you're not just learning about machine learning, you're also learning how to integrate multiple AI services, other data engineering services like S3 Glue, making utilizing that and building a scalable solution for your customer, right? So that's a benefits what this certification adds comparing with any other thing that you are talking about.
Sir, what is the
Okay,
difference
let me
between AWS machine learning and Python for data science?
Python.
For data science.
Okay, so see, like there is a huge difference. So because let's say this is AWS, so there's a AWS. See, Python is a programming language that you're using. Don't confuse Python with AWS. AWS is a cloud platform where you use, let's say, for example, let's say you are going to work for a company where they are requiring a machine learning model to be built. So once the machine learning model is built, where they're going to deploy a machine learning model? Obviously, no company want to get into their own on-premises service. They want to deploy their machine learning model on cloud platforms like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. So if you want to use AWS, so these are the powerful tools that you can use. Let's say, as I mentioned, there are different tools that you can use for different services. Let's say, for example, Netflix completely runs on AWS, for example. So Netflix uses wide varieties of AI services, recommendation services, SageMaker to use it. So Python, what you asked for, I use Python to design a machine learning model in AWS, for example. I use Python over here. So I use machine learning, I use data science or maybe AI as part of AWS to build up a solution. That's the thing. Python is just a programming language. It's not machine learning. If you use Python as a programming language to build ML, AI, and data science projects and using it for your customer benefits.
So I have one question. So with this certification,
Yeah.
with this training, I will get experience and knowledge on machine learning on AWS specifically. After 2 years of this, and after my getting experience in this domain, can I go for machine learning other than cloud? When I say machine learning other than cloud, like can I build machine learning algorithm from on myself using PyCharm,
Okay.
Anaconda, or any other tools?
Okay, got it. Let's say, what's your question is, let's say, once after completing the certificate, can I build a machine learning model solutions not just on a cloud? Can I build it for on-premises customers who they are requiring solution?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So this certification is not just focused on AWS, because at the end of the day, all the cloud platforms are similar. They call it in different names. So Google Cloud, Azure, they may have a different platforms. They have the same platforms. They call it in a different name. That's how the difference makes. So yes, obviously, you can build any machine learning model. It may be on-premises model, or maybe AWS model. You can build it, but I highly I don't see the chances, because let's say if any customers, because there are more possibilities on premises customers, they will come to the cloud platform instead of going from cloud platform to on premises. I see more opportunities for you on the cloud, obviously, but yes, you can build it on premises models.
So machine learning is same for AWS, Python for data science, and IoT embedded system.
Yes, obviously, like Python is a just a programming language which will be used in. You can also use Python to build some tools for IoT. Yes, and you can use Python for many things. Python is not just for machine learning, right? You can use Python for developing your front and back end applications too.
So my question is, machine learning is same for AWS, data science, and embedded system, IoT.
Um, I'm not exactly getting your question. Sorry, like you're asking machine learning is same for ML, data science,
AWS.
AWS.
No, no, sir. Sir. Hello, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Machine
Yeah.
learning
I'm
is
listening.
Machine learning is
Yep.
same for AWS, data science, embedded system, IoT.
See, I guess you're confusing. AWS is a cloud platform. Okay, so you're talking about IoT. Internet of Things is a technology which is actually part of AWS. Okay, and data science is actually subset of machine learning. Okay, data set is actually, let's say, subset of machine learning. ML machine learning is actually subset of AI. So all these three parts are part of AWS. IoT, or maybe if you're talking about embedded systems, which is part of IoT, let's say. So IoT is part of AWS. So there are different things. IoT and embedded system, they are different. So AI, ML, and data science, they comes under the, let's say, the same radar. Okay, which is part of AWS. AWS provides all these services for you: ML services, AI services, IoT services.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Awesome, good.
So one more question, like AWS usually recommend like we should have at least 2 years of experience for writing these specialty certifications, and you should have
So
at least associate level certification in your hand.
so can you repeat your question once again? I'm sorry.
Like AWS recommends at least we need to have 2 years of experience working on AWS to write these exams, and
So
yeah, and at least
no,
you have
that is
associate
not.
level of certification.
That is not necessary. For example, let's say if you want to complete this certification, I mean, let's say they are talking about that some thresholds. Let's say, like if you have 2 years of experience, maybe yes, you can take it. So we have seen a lot of people's like who has let's say like 1 or 2 years of experience, or even 1 year experience, less than one. They take this particular certification. This is completely okay, there's no issues with that. So they also cleared a certification, and they also have their jobs on different let's say industries, which is representing AI and ML.
Sir, what is the course duration of AWS machine learning?
So it's 36 hours, probably what we are looking forward. So 36 hours. So this is the dates. Let's say it will go for 1 month, 8 days, let's say. Okay, I will spare 1 more minute. Let me see if you guys have any questions. I'm very much happy to help. Okay, AMR asked one questions. If I need to take 3 exams, will I get 50% off on a second and third exam after taking the first exam, and only the second got voucher? I guess, I mean, I'm also like, I guess this is out of my radar. So because you're talking about the existing the vouchers that you might be having for writing an exam, I guess you need to check the platform in case AWS is offered the credit, the coupons for you, the vouchers for you, where you can get an exam for the discount. Yes, so AWS provides a lot of the vouchers if you request them. Yes, otherwise, if the company that you're working on provides the voucher, you need to check with them. Yeah, so as you're mentioning, AWS automatically gives it for everyone. I mean, yes, as you mentioned, there's a one more thing that I need to mention. The people who are writing an exam, AWS also provides this voucher. So I guess you need to check that website. I mean, like AWS provides that voucher for, let's say, for one certification like that looking about. I guess they can give multiple vouchers. I don't have sufficient information. Maybe I can come back regarding that. No issues.
Sir, where is the location?
Which location? Sorry.
Sir, your course location, sir.
It's an online. It's an online course, not offline.
But where is the your company location that may you provide?
So we are from Bangalore, India. We are from Bangalore, India.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir,
Yeah,
really
you're
got
welcome.
a very good information from you.
Awesome. Good. Happy for that. Okay, folks.